Are you there?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
No. Can I hear you?
Okay.
I can hear you.
That
Okay, so on the screen it says Dade is an angel.
she has to leave early today, and
Uh-huh.
so she's gonna take she's not gonna speak today. And also Aggie Paul sends her love. She is with clients right now.
Oh, okay. Okay, is this Sahej? Okay.
Yes, I'm on an airplane. I'm just dropping down into Ketchikan long enough to be on the call for probably, I don't know, 40 minutes maybe.
Yay.
Hooray!
Right?
Okay,
Yeah.
so
And
now
we
we're
had a
going,
new person. We had Rebecca who introduced herself, or was it Rachel? Does anybody remember what her name was? It was with a K. RK. Anyway, she was here and her internet connection was unstable, so she may come back.
oh, okay. Okay, so here we going. Okay, so um, we're going to tune in. Palms together. Inhale, exhale. And inhale.
Namo 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 Gurudev Namo Sadguru Name Jugatguru Name Satguru Name Sri Gurudev Name Sadguru Name Jugatguru Name Satguru Name Sri Gurudev Name Sadguru Name Jugatguru Name Satguru Name Sri Gurudev Name.
Long deep breath. Heart breath. Okay. Good. I'm so glad you're here. Now, Japa Saraswati, after we do this, will you talk to me about,
Yes.
okay, about what happened? Okay.
With the, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Now, this is going to be a long, okay. Okay. So, so continue with heart breath. And the focus today for Baba Siri Chand is how does love does stay with heart breath. That is, how does love heal or change from dark, evil, hurt to light, peace, flowing, truth, and so on. That is from both from our personal self as well as from the whole society. Do you have that? Okay. Japa Saraswati, you just
Yes.
you say it. Would you do that?
How does love heal and bring us from darkness to light? And it can be both personal or from soul.
Okay, let me do it again. How does love, for instance, heart breath, heal or change from dark, evil, hurt to light, peace, flowing, truth, etc.? That is from our personal self as well as from the whole society. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. And then maybe during our session might be late. Is that okay with everybody except for we know that Sahej, okay? And also Ved. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So now, please begin with Baba Siri Chand for 3 minutes and begin. And inhale and exhale. And breathe. Oh, now hear Sahej. Sahej? Sahej, can you talk from
Sorry,
Bali?
it took me a second to find the on button. I'm on a plane, so it's a little awkward. Uh,
Okay.
but what I saw, well, it's funny because I just was laying down. Let me see. I'm going to try to. Um, if I maybe it's easier if you can see me when I'm talking if I'm not talking very loud. Can you hear me okay?
What?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. What I was seeing was I just laid down and I was contemplating. We were just coming to the end of that 3 minutes, and I was like re-asking the question to myself, and all of a sudden it was like I saw like a heart breath, almost like a white cloud going towards that dark, and the dark sort of like pulled it in as though it were a vacuum. And there's something about like that sense of the vacuum, like that darkness or that negativity or whatever, kind of pulling. But then that heart breath, that's that kind of like love going into it. It's almost like a natural balance that it wants that. I don't know if that makes sense. Um, like this is what we do. We do this thing, we send this out, and it goes towards that negativity, which like is a vacuum or it pulls it in, but it's not like a black hole. It can't like absorb it. It's what makes it shift, whether it understands that or not. And it's not even a matter of understanding. It's just that's just the way I'm seeing it. This is like, yeah, and that, but also we don't have to understand it. We don't have to understand it. We can do it. We can send that. Like this simple tool is something that we've got the opportunity to send in the direction of anything that's negative or any hurt or anything. We don't have to. We don't even have to understand it. We don't even have to understand it. You can send it. It works. It happens. It's a part of some balancing. That's as far as I got.
Okay. It's for unbalance.
Yeah, so we send it. It helps strike the balance because things are out of balance, right? And that's what we're trying to correct.
Say it again.
The things like just like of course recent events and everything, we see how lopsided things can get. uh, Things feel really out of balance, and this is our tool to help strike that balance, right? It's like the yin yang. You see the dark and the light, and they um, one doesn't ever overtake the other. And in that symbol you see it's fluid, it's always moving, and there's a little bit of dark in the light, and there's a little bit of light in the dark. And this is our tool. This heart breath, this is our tool to be part of that balance, to continue to maintain that balance.
Okay. In other words, you're saying there's just one or the other because you're talking about balance, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Good. Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's perfect that I get to be here for a few minutes this morning.
Yeah. Okay. So now, Dade, are you there? Dade?
I think she doesn't want to speak today because she has a short time schedule.
Oh, okay.
She's angelic.
That's
Mhm.
right.
She's an
Okay.
angel.
So
Yes, you are.
okay. So now we are on Gyan Das Prem.
Satnam. So love is how. That was the first thing that came to me is love is how. And that's pretty much the way that we're, I think, moving through it with our experience and our shared experience. And there's so many correlations there. And for me, the next message was it's in your breathing because that's where we're in the rhythm of that being able to flow through that truth, right? Of that personal and collective, what we're working with, what our prayers are, how we're noticing all of the other people and what's happening with the earth. And it's so cool with the vacuum because that's like, I've been looking into the plenum and, how the air, how it affects us, the coming and going of that air and our sharing of the air that we're all breathing together. And if we put our vibration into that, like how we scientifically, the science is really catching up. It's so beautiful now, right?
Mhm.
And this, I think we can look into that and we can learn from it. It's public television. It's really cool. It's free, right? That's for me, it's always been a gift. And I really like that to have the song come into it and that balancing, yeah, right. Between the two of how we have two sides, right? We're sort of like we kind of have a line in the middle, our rib cage and whatnot, and our chakras, right? There's part of our body, like there's a correlation between all that, and bringing those colors and it's an illustration. Like I'm seeing myself. I've been told to draw, like even if it's crayons or something. We all can. I'm writing, so I think that yeah, going into those different areas and learning new things too, within our breath, because we can challenge our breath, and that's that part of us that we all share, and that flowing, right? That light flowing through us that allows the truth to come into our own experience for our own personal experience. And I think on our soul, we just have this age, right? We come from so many things that brought us together to become speaking here with all of these amazing beings with the world that we can see somewhat. And then there's a water world here too, right? And then there's underground worlds, and that's like wow, it's just such a beautiful place that it's tough, but yet it's soft, and in that softness and in that strength to just keep pushing that breath out, that prana, that allows us to wake up maybe a little bit more comfortable, or to deal with our discomforts in a way that we have an ability to get through that. And I think as a group, it's important for us to say the word love and to be with that word love and to know what it takes to get through pain in order to come to love it. And yeah, birth and death, right? I mean, if we witness both of them, they're pretty close, if that appreciation is there, or that compassion in a sense, yeah, it can come to being in our way of that nature that's so lovingly giving us these examples that we have had the time, to come here from so far away to this beautiful place. Yeah. And Waheguru, and thank you so much for this opportunity. It's so beautiful, yeah, that we can combine everything from all of these times together, and we're coming out through the other side, dancing and singing. That's hopefully what we see, to be accepted and to be brought forth and to progress into that balance between the personal and the collective. Yeah, right. Of that all being shared. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Waheguru.
Hey, thank you, dear. Next is Joki on Diddy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. So as I'm writing, I go, I had to learn forgiveness, mainly through my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. I was given assistance to understand or to live through this conundrum. I'd like to give you an example of what does it look like to have assistance from, I don't know, the angelic realm. It's usually pretty straightforward. I was at a book tour with Diane Cannon, the writer. I don't know her first name really. I always called her Dr. Cannon. Are you familiar with her? She's a spiritual writer as well, works with hypnosis a lot. Anyway, I was at this book
Yes.
show with her, and I was we were on a break, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was asking me about how was it living with my father-in-law, and it was not good. It was not good. In fact, what does bad look like? I would use my pendulum about every night and ask, how long will it take before he dies? Yep, I just wanted a quick answer. And as I finished saying that, Diane Cannon came up and tapped me on the shoulder, and she said, "You've been given an opportunity. You're going to be able to learn forgiveness without deserving." That one hit me in the gut, because you expect that person that you're going to forgive to deserve it. Well, they don't have to. Oh, I had to really learn it, but I was given every step along the way assistance. So that's the way I say love healed me. I don't know if it healed them. That's their job, but I'm sure my action, well, it helped me get through it. So I imagine there must have been a repercussion, but I don't know if I would have been aware enough. It is through the awareness that I could practice forgiveness, but I had to be very aware that it is beyond deserving forgiveness. That's in our life. I'll just never see it another way. So a hard lesson, but a good one.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It is transforming, and it's useful every day is in our particular temperature of our world right now. It's another time to apply it. So that's a gratitude from me. And as far as the people that receive it, that's really not my business, but it is a beginning. I think it's a beginning of healing somewhere and somehow. So that's what I believe. That just starts or stops a chain of darkness to begin a chain of light. But that doesn't mean I have to always see it. Oh, I did see it. When my father-in-law was dying, I went to his, he was in a home, and I went to the home and I saw him dying. And it's going to be so weird, but here's how I saw it. I saw him die and become light. Like what? Purgatory. Like the word purgatory came to my mind then, but I thought it was like fire and brimstone. I thought purgatory was like a miniature hell. It's not. It's a cleanliness and from my view of what I saw, a very dark man become very light. I understood it as being prepared or purged of whatever would hold him back so that he could enter the kingdom of God. And I went, why didn't anyone teach me that? That's so great. It was like I was totally seeing a movie of how he was being purified. And then I thought, even he gets purified? We're all going to heaven. That's just all there is to it. Yep. Anyway, that's what I was talking about today. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Oh, listen. So would you also, for that, would Trump be the same?
And what would I be doing with Trump? What are you saying? What are you asking me to
What you
label
were
what you're
talking
saying?
about
You
your
want me to forgive
father-in-law.
Trump? Did
Yeah.
you say? Oh, see, you and I have a very different view of that. And so I don't need to, I could forgive him for maybe some humanity or whatever. I personally think there is some God's smack dab in our hands right now. We are being led. So I don't feel forgiveness. I feel understanding might need to happen, but I also see someone willing to pull America together. So you see, we're not really on the same page probably, but that's okay. I just think I'm willing to observe my world becoming healed. You can't have this much transition without an obvious healing happening. So I'm very aware of how much the humanity is us. We are changing, and so that is where I practice gratitude and forgiveness of us just the attempt to even just pay attention. And also, what about healing? And what about forgiveness? So, but mine's not directed at Trump. So, but you can pick another character and I'll answer.
But Jodhpyan Devi wasn't Siri Gian saying that just what you were saying about your father-in-law, that it would also apply to him? Is what
That-
I
oh,
understood. That she was
okay.
saying, well, if
That
that's true of him, as you're saying, this dark person
Mm.
turning to the light, won't that apply to him and to anyone that we think of it?
To him, so pointedly, I thought she was expressing, do I need to practice that forgiveness with the character of Trump? And my answer is no. With humanity in general, with that, but I don't feel burdened by a very blatant expression of I need to forgive this horrible person. I don't have that feeling. However,
But your experience showed you that he's going to have the same experience as your father-in-law, right?
I would not
Or,
compare.
or just like you said, because you said that, and then you said,
I said, I don't know. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What did I
this
say
is going
about
to
Trump?
happen for him. No, you didn't say it specifically about him, but you were talking about your father-in-law and this transformation. You said, man, if this transformation can happen for him, we're all going to heaven.
Oh, my transformation. I was talking about. I was not specifically saying. Wait. Hello. I was not specifically saying transformation, meaning Trump. I was talking about the transformation of humanity at this. Am I talking to everybody on the call?
Yes,
Are we all
we
gone?
all hear you.
Okay,
No,
okay.
we all hear you.
Okay. I was speaking of the transformation that I think humanity is going through. So I'm going to say it's a broader brush of even me and how we're going to be a world, how we're going to be an America, all of it. But I don't think it's just America or one person. For my father-in-law, he was the bearer of that information, but I did not say any one person of darkness beyond that story. I wasn't meaning that. I was meaning transformation of humanity.
It's now turning on the light.
I was just thinking that you were saying, if he can do it, then if this man can have this transformation at the end, right? Then it's everybody's going to have that opportunity.
Unable to meet the restrictions or just do not feel comfortable.
For everybody, that's possible for everyone. Whatever darkness you perceive in them,
Okay, we
Oh,
can't
it's
hear
sorry.
anything about
Oh.
the plane.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let it go.
Okay,
Thank you.
So Hesh, we'll get back to it. That'd be fine with me. I mean, it doesn't have to be now. It can be later.
okay,
Okay.
okay. So, no, say Sahej again. We can hear you. Sahej?
Yeah.
Okay, what were you saying?
What I was harking back to what Jodhpyan Devi had said about her father-in-law and like this who she was perceiving as a dark person and seeing him transform into light. And then she said, wow, if that can happen for him, we're all going to heaven. And so I thought that's what you were saying, like whether it's Trump or whomever, that would also apply to him, right? That if we think of whoever these people we think of as being very dark characters, it's that possibility exists for all of them. That was what I was trying to.
I imagine it does, but I do not feel that darkness from Trump. So I don't, but if I had, I would definitely apply forgiveness there. I am aware if I need to, but I wouldn't have isolated it to that person.
Okay. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
Okay. So now, this is for Hadi Munder.
It's been an interesting conversation in terms of my own life. The idea of forgiveness without deserving. The people that irritate me or that I get annoyed at or don't like to be around. Just small annoyances, is just a reminder that as others were saying, the just allowing that awareness that we're all human, and anytime that we use heart breath, I love that idea of the dark kind of as a vacuum drawing in the light to keep the balance. The one word I got, because it's continually, I am continually having to remind myself, is to smile. And just smiling early in the morning when I first get up. Oh yeah, okay. Move my mouth that way. And there's so much seriousness and fear and jiggly vibration. It's jiggly isn't quite the right word, but people are okay. People are on edge, and forgiveness all the way around. It was kind of like the last speaker was talking about forgiveness of the sexual offender that was caught and died in prison. And that
Epstein.
Yeah, Epstein. And when that forgiveness happened, all the people that had been damaged by him or by others or by those acts came around and were grateful to have been heard. So it's a hard concept to explain to people about forgiveness, because we have very strong positions about it, but that knowledge that it goes far beyond whatever person we are forgiving. It opens up huge populations that feel heard, and then it's kind of like in the dying process, you see the light. It's like if you forgive whomever for whatever, all these other people feel the light. So, or entities feel the light. So that's what I got out of listening to you guys.
Now, I want to ask you one other thing. What about, there are some people who are so upset about Yogi Bhajan, about those sex offenses. So how does that mean? How does that work with what you're talking?
I would imagine the same. If the experience with the sex offender had an effect, then that forgiveness would have an effect too. But it's doing it within forgiveness within a within the frequency. The frequency of forgiveness is the thing. It's not forgiveness, it's the frequency of forgiveness. And that frequency changes everything. Forgiveness by itself is just mental or that kind of, but once you are in, that's what really got to me, that gave me an understanding that that frequency has no judgment. That frequency is simply the heart breath, as that cloud, that white cloud that you were talking about. It just is absorbed wherever. And so, yeah, going back to the frequency of forgiveness and using that as we use heart breath would make all the difference. Without judgment, without expectation. And that gets to without deserving.
Okay.
Hari Mandar, this is Suzanne. Jokyandavi.
I couldn't remember your name.
I could tell. But you brought that up. I mean, make me remember that. I mean, you can forget all these deep stories. That was given to me. I don't have those kind of blessed abilities to forgive. And that was thrown in my face as a gift. And because it is a frequency, it was not my action. It was me. So there's some part I was given it. It's more of something being given to me to understand forgiveness. Ouch. One of the last people I'd want to forgive, but there it is.
Right.
That's not a pointed finger. I will forgive him. There is a frequency shift, and I saw the children being grateful for the shift. Not so much all pointed at Mr. Epstein. It was the children's reactions were so dramatic. I mean, it was just absolutely tear-worthy and flipped my understanding. Then again, I get another chance with my father-in-law. Oh my God. But I understood, and that had to be given to me on his death. It usually happens around death, doesn't it? Where I could see the light. I was a very visual, well, both of them were visual. Huh. Oh, I did not remember that. Thank you.
It affected me deeply. And
yes.
It's the only way I can explain forgiveness to anybody. It's because of your experience and Siri Gian's language of the frequency.
Yeah. That makes so much sense. It really pulls it together. And then being able to jump to that understanding. Well, that's a gift that you can, I had to learn the gift, and understand that maybe we're going into more accepting frequency, understanding how it is a part of our life. We use it lightly. And then sometimes you get slammed with how much frequency works. It's a very real thing.
Right.
Mm.
Isn't that wonderful?
I think so.
Okay. So that's what we do. Excuse me. During the frequency of forgiveness for the next government, right?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. And that's moving for each of us as well as the whole society. That's what you're talking about, right?
Exactly. I think there's a huge shift, and we're the players whatever card you got, that's what you got to play. And if we look at that frequency and use our examples of forgiveness, and then we also realize we're being guided. I think we're being guided somewhere. I sure hope it's good. But I feel like it is. And I can't say when or how, but I'm seeing shifts. And even in this conversation, like it's coming up again. Here it is again. Okay.
Good.
That was great, Edmundo. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And sometime later, maybe, trying to explain the last election. It's the I lost my train of thought. Trying to explain the election in terms of the Aquarian age. And I've lost a lot of my remembrance of what the Aquarian age, when did it start, and what was the 20-year cusp between the Pisces and the Aquarian? People are asking, and that is the one thing that seems to be important to share with people, that the part of going through really terrible, horrible, bad, dark times that are necessary to shake people up, because otherwise nobody would pay attention if everything is just fine and dandy, or seems to be. So I would really like to have a discussion at some point about just the Aquarian age. Again, it's what we've all learned during our Kundalini yoga time, but it's time to talk about it again and explain, share it, just like the frequency of forgiveness. It's what will happen, what do we have to go through, why do we have to go through it, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I like that.
Mhm.
I do. Because we can't keep having the walls. We can't we have to somehow, I just think we'll be taught. No, we'll be taught it. That doesn't make me feel very good. I mean, that's going to be a hard lesson. I don't know, but I think we'll be shown.
Hey guys, I'm taking off, but I just wanted to let you all know that Vade Butchin left a note in the a message in the notes. Maybe someone can read it into the call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saraswati brings all of us to the recording. Okay. Good. Thank you. Okay.
To read what she said.
Yeah, she wrote something lovely in the chat.
Yeah, she says, I have to go. Thank you, everyone. Here is a little of what came through for me. Light carried on the breath. Prana moves light through the system and out into space. Lower frequencies upgrade and shift to vibrate in harmony with love. Harmony with love. Heart field is a slow down, wait a minute. We surrender story, old emotions, ideas, separation, division, and move into heart, unity, love, consciousness. Heart field is a transformer of energy. We are purified through fire of the heart.
Oh, the high chamber.
Oh.
And I don't seem to be able to copy it. You'd have to take a picture of it.
Oh,
I
You-
did copy it. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
that would be great. Okay. Wonderful.
Thank you, Sahej, for looking to see who has written anything.
You're welcome, Gio. Here I go, taking off from CAT scan. Hope it's not too bumpy of a flight. It was a little wild coming in.
Oh. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So now Japa Saraswati.
Well, I feel like my message really it fits right in because when I was downstairs this morning getting ready, I said to myself, well, the message is that we need death in order for rebirth. And I feel like that's been the topic of the morning. And then and then so what else the evidence of this love this morning I went to yoga class and it's like 25 minutes away, and I noticed I had to pass the road where my friend Amy lives. She's the teacher. I had to pass her road on my way, and we get to class and it was a wonderful class, and we're sitting afterwards visiting, and she says her kid is homesick and she's got to go into Augusta to get some medicine for him, and he's 10 years old and home alone. And then she calls him and his phone is turned off. So I said, you want me to go swing by on the way home and look in on him while you go and get the meds? And she said, yes. And it was this, I could feel this love like a prayer extending out over her kid, 20 miles away. And I really, oh, so with the death and the rebirth, we need death in order for rebirth. I really feel that it's linked with birth, that it's linked with the love that comes from prayer, the love that comes from really honest creation, that when we are in the act of creation, that it's full of new hope and new possibilities, and it's flowing, it's just its honest self. And what I felt about it was that prayer is like a layer that surrounds the body. And I also felt like, wow, love is the same. And I could see it just sort of sitting like our radiant body. Um, and then and then what Baba showed me was about the radiant body. So it this is what I feel about it anyway. This is kind of the message that I got. It's abstract though, is that so the radiant body is supposed to be like the most special one because it encircles all of the other ones. And that's because it goes around your whole skin. It kind of sits on top of your skin. But the visual that always helped me with the radiant body is, when you get goosebumps on your arm and the hair on your arm stands up a bit, um, that's where your radiant body is. And like if you're getting a download from angels, or if you get like somebody gives you the heebie-jeebies and you get the goosebumps, that's your radiant body telling you like, whoa, that's be aware of that, that's good or that's bad. And I feel that that's both what prayer and what love is like, that the prayer is like we are on the road, but when we're all prayed up, it makes the high road way easier to take. It makes the high road um, just the obvious path instead of let's go dally in the mud sort of vibe. So what else I felt, so back to the radiant body, is that like one of the things about the radiant body is that it is specifically about the hair. Like people will say, don't shave or don't cut your hair. And that's part of why. So it's part of our nervous system. It's part of our electromagnetic field. If we have like a lot of hair to give us a lot of that information from the world around us. And I know that this is also really weird, but I feel like I have to say it, is that so my hair is insanely long now. It's down basically to my knees. And I've been doing this thing with my turban, or I make this thing underneath my turban. I'm not wearing it today, or else I'd show it to you. But I make a ponytail on the top of my head, and then I braid a scarf through my hair and I wind it around my head. And I think that this rishi knot is also called a kesh, which is like the thing that your hair sits in, but it's like a basically like a bun on top of your head. But when I'm in my yoga postures, there are certain postures that your hair is part of the posture. Like if you're in your standing wide-legged forward fold, the sacred geometry for that includes your hair, your bun of your hair touching the ground in that way. And there's like a bunch of other postures like Matsyasana for fish and like rabbit, all of these poses. And when so when I it's hard to do the whole class with my long hair like that. But when I do it, I really experience this like sacred geometry and this really um, divine alignment that to me it's the same thing as that divine alignment from the high road. And that that's why it's part of our nervous system, and that like that hair, it opens all of our nadis, which are energy pathways in the body, and it can get the chakras, which are the energy houses, spinning just right and moving just right when we are in this kind of alignment. And that helps us to rejuvenate ourselves. And I feel all of this with love and with blessings and with prayer. So I was like, why do I keep on coming back um to prayer in this? Because I was thinking about Amy sort of praying for her son and sending blessings to her son. I felt that it was her mother's love. And I guess it's all about sacred geometry today. But the you know how women are said to have an extra arc line between the two nipples, especially that it becomes activated when you have a baby or you're nursing, but also like just anytime that you're having that experience of love. I felt that like if you send out your heart breath, I feel that it gets amplified through that arc line. Not that men can't do it, just that I really experience it there. I'm not sure if men do or don't, but anyway, I could feel this um kind of string of blessing send that Amy was sending out to her son, and I visualized it amping up his energy field, his electromagnetic field, which then like corresponds to his nervous system and his nadis and his chakras, and regenerating his cells, that this kid can be sick at home and that mummy can be 20, 30 miles away driving to the store for medicine. And like it's that love is healing her kid even from in the house, from all of those miles apart. Um, and that was my message, I think.
Uplifting.
Yeah. Well, yours was really absolutely amazing. Forgiveness without deserving it. Like, I'm gonna be mulling that one over for a long time to come. You'd said it before. You said that many years ago. You told us about that story with your father-in-law, and it's so good to hear again because I got even more from it the second time around.
It's the same with Epstein and the children. I
Mhm.
got it more when Hattie Mundo applied it. Of course, it was
Mm.
earth shattering and great and all that, but when she applied it to today, and I think Siri Gian's question today, I thought, oh, how can we? It's a broader application. It's
Mhm.
a frequency, and it's spiritual, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
But it takes me off guard, and I was
Mhm.
there. I saw it. Oh my God. Hmm. But thanks. That's really awesome connections, all of y'all. It's been awesome.
Mm.
Right. So that all comes for the shift of the Aquarian. Isn't that amazing?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Because that's across the board. That's that is humanity, us. Now, however we get there, oh, can you just look at all the stories? Oh my goodness. Right. It's a big shift.
Right.
Hmm.
Good.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Hmm.
Isn't that great from Baba Siri Chand to get
Mhm.
Yeah.
knowing? Mhm. Good.
Hmm.
Well, God bless all of you. Because this is what we're talking about. We're really changing because it's going to be, change is going to be different.
Hmm.
So, okay, we'll, oh, so now, how, Japa Saraswati, will you lead our song?
Sure. Inhale. May the
May the
long time
sun
sun
shine
shine
upon
upon
you.
you. All
All
love
love
surround
around
you.
you.
And
And the
the pure
pure
light
light
within
within
you
you.
guide
Guide
your
your
way
way
on.
on.
Guide
Guide
your
your way
way
on.
on. Guide
Guide
your
your
way
way
on.
on.
Inhale. Sa. We bless you and thank you. Thank you so much.